There's nothing quite like watching a city come to life, and seeing the island of Hong Kong wake up from across Victoria Harbour is nothing short of spectacular. We're about halfway through our 7 days in Hong Kong, and we've done a lot. We've been to Victoria Peak, seen the giant Buddha, eaten Gai Dan Sai and Zhao Long Bao, and shopped and cooked with the chefs from the Intercontinental. But there's plenty more to come in Sam the Cooking Guy's 7 Days in Hong Kong, Part 2. I'm Sam the Cooking Guy. This show is about food that's big in taste and small in effort. Totally easy stuff anyone can make. And everything comes from the supermarket. Here's what you do. You take all those other cooking shows and get rid of them. You know what? You don't need them anymore. This is Sam the Cooking Guy. Now we're heading to Llama Island to do a little cooking of our own. Llama Island is about 30 minutes by boat from Hong Kong. The village of Sok Kwu Wan is tiny, with just a handful of seafood restaurants and a dock where fishermen from the South China Seas deposit their catches. Okay, so this is my newest Llama Island friend, Ming. Say hello.
Hello.
And Ming's a local fisherman. He's been a fisherman his whole life.
首先呢，我哋呢一支魚
Ming gives me a fishing lesson because before we can cook, we need to catch a fish. And that is not my bag. Uh-oh. Oh.
，哎，啊，
And for a minute there, it seemed like it wasn't Ming's bag either. I think we're getting one this time. Segment's gonna suck without
Where
bag.
you go?
We got it.
Oh, wow.
Oh Lord, there you go. Yeah, it's an actual fish
Whoa.
right there. Nice work. But we get one. Better make that Ming gets one. And even though neither of us understand each other all that well, we both know what's next. And Ming, being the smart guy he is, hands off the fish to someone else to do the dirty work. This may be the time if you want to take the children out of the room. I don't know how this is gonna.
嗱，而家咧我哋
When you gotta clean a fish, so
攞埋條水喉，閂咗掣先，閂唔到掣
I'll。tell you. You can turn away now, and I'll tell you when to turn back in. Okay? I should have taken my own advice and been the one not looking. I know there's plenty of people watching right now who are going, why is he such a baby? This is fish. We do this all the time. But when you don't do this all the time,
Yeah,
oh, he's still
呢
moving.
個炒
Yeah,
炒
he's still
魚
moving
頭
down
咧
there. What do you have to do to the guy to make him stop moving? They've taken the insides out. Most of his flesh is gone, and he's still lying there going, well, this is not a good day I'm having. Definitely had better days. How we all doing? We good about all that? As I stand here right now, I don't know how much of that we just showed you. We'll have to figure it out. I mean, it might be a little bit too much for some people. But here's the point. The point is, I got super fresh fish. Oh my God. And I also have my brand new knife. I bought this the other day in by the Temple Street Night Market. I love it. It's like 20 bucks. I should have bought more. Oh, look who's here. Ngoisai. It's the best. All right, spread out. Now I can spread out a little bit. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna black bean atize this grouper. I'm gonna cut some vegetables. I'm gonna cook them. So, this is my green pepper. And the very first time I've ever used this knife. It cuts like a dream. Better than I even imagined. Nice. I don't need too much vegetable because I don't have that much fish. But it's just unbelievable. I mean, what I'm looking at. Well, I'm looking at Shannon behind the camera, but I mean just this whole like Llama Island thing. I mean, what a lucky kid. I get to come to Hong Kong. I get to come here. I get to cook. I get to cruise around. Little oil. Put a little bit of this in. I don't know if this is spicy or not. Cut the grouper up. It's got to get super hot now, so which might take a second. I want that almost smoking. But while I'm getting ready, I guess I could cut some of these. So here's what I have. I have some black bean sauce right here. I've got some garlic here. Oh, and a little bit of ginger too that I meant to cut. Garlic and a little bit of garlic oil. Excuse me. It's gonna be a problem? Where's the wind coming from? I'm just trying to get it hot. Green onion. I need a little bit of green onion. Oh, I'm about to get dock sick, honestly. Now the vegetables go back in. And now, Ming, come. So we've got, oh, bone.
Very good.
Very good.
好食，
Ho ho mei.
好好味，好食。
Hose. Nice. We call this Ming's Llama Island grouper with black bean sauce.
Very good。
Thank you.
好食。
Thank you. Okay. This is crazy. I could stand here all day doing this. All right, thank you very much.
唔好下。
Okay, don't go away, because something else amazing as 7 days of Hong Kong continues. This is Sam the Cooking Guy. I don't have too many chef friends, but one I do have happens to live in Hong Kong. Alvin Leung is the Michelin star chef of Bo Innovation. Alvin does what he calls extreme Chinese cuisine, which means he's applying some new and radical techniques to mostly traditional Cantonese food. And whatever Alvin's doing, it's clearly working. So I asked Alvin to show me something in Hong Kong we wouldn't normally see. He started by taking me to Yan Tak Tai Ki for a lesson in dried seafood.
I'm going to show you the stuff,
Yeah.
and we're going to eat it later on.
We looked at dried scallops, abalone, or abalone as Alvin called it. So $1,000 a pound for the dried abalone.
That's right. You got to be very careful when you cook this, okay?
Yeah. Fish stomachs.
We have some giant ones, and you can see the prices for those ones, are getting, that's $2,000 US a
$2,000
pound.
a pound.
Okay,
Wow.
you can probably, and then these ones are so expensive, if you ask for the price, you probably can't afford it.
The controversial shark fin. And expensive as well.
They are very expensive.
And popular here.
Usually we have shark fins always for special occasions. So
Right.
like a wedding, we would have shark fins. A birthday, we would have shark fins.
And the icky dried sea cucumber. But looking turned out wasn't enough. Alvin wanted me to try the items.
And as I said earlier, these are all eaten in wedding banquets. So we're gonna go and try a couple of dishes made from these goodies.
So what's cool about this is when Alvin says, come on, let's go eat some of this stuff that we just got. I'm thinking we're gonna go in the kitchen someplace. We're not, we're at a wedding banquet.
Yes.
Legitimate wedding banquet. You can see the tables and it's pretty and there's people setting up. And in like an hour, they're gonna be here doing something. So, and we're eating the food that they're gonna be eating.
We
I
will
like
be
the idea
eating-
that this is
Yeah.
traditional wedding banquet food, yeah?
One of the courses you would have a shark fin.
Okay.
So now you smell that. When you were at the when we were at the shop, you have this smell, this dry seafood smell as well. Did you notice it?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
So this is the real McCoy. I'm not putting in fake tin soup here for you.
It's beautifully rich. I mean, I can't say that, you know, I normally back home would go looking for fish bladders, fish stomachs, but this is darn good.
Now the next dish.
We're going here?
Yep. So these are dry sea scallops. Very interesting here. That was a sea moss. You know, when we looked at that, you said, hey, that's hair.
Yeah,
that's not
it
hair.
was kind of grody.
That's sea moss.
I'm just trying a piece of the scallop first.
Yeah. But you notice that, you know, the texture and the flavor, all this very, very kind of savory in your mouth, sweet. That's what we call umami. That's the first time you have it dry, right? You don't dry it.
No, really luscious. I think
right.
for me, that's what I would say. Okay, this is
Right.
this
This
is
is
going to be just
interesting.
bizarre
This
to
is
me.
very interesting.
I don't. I'm
Now,
not. Wow,
Chinese,
I'm so not looking forward to having this, but
Now, I'll tell you, the Chinese name for this is called fat choy, which
Fat
means,
choy.
you know, hair choy or hair vegetable. But they also have a second meaning, you know, it sounds like also what we call fat choy, which means rich, you know, get rich
wait,
in
where's
Chinese.
the? Oh, like gung hei fat choy.
Yeah, gong fat choy.
Happy
And so,
New Year.
Happy.
I mean, you say it at New Year's.
Yeah, get rich. And
not looking
so
forward
this
to
is
this.
why they love to eat this in New Year's, okay?
Yeah, it's okay. It's just like
survived
a.
it.
It's like a.
Okay, you know?
Yeah, it's just like a leafy vegetable in my mouth, like spinach almost. All right.
We're gonna have the last dish.
Sorry, I just took
Okay.
mine without even thinking of you.
Now you got the abalone,
Yeah.
which is right there. You have the sea cucumber, okay, which were like this tiny when we saw it. Now it's been, you know,
It's swelled up?
reconstituted. It's swollen up, and then you got the duck's
the
web
duck-
or duck's feet.
Duck
Okay,
foot.
so this thing's about texture again. You know, the abalone's texture is kind of hard and rubbery, and Chinese love this texture. The sea cucumber, it's got this almost like slimy texture, which
Wow.
again Chinese love.
Why am I
and then
here?
you have the duck's feet or the duck's web, which has another different texture.
Well, would have thought the abalone would have gotten a lot softer. It's not soft at all.
Well, you want it to be basically slightly hard because Chinese like this, you know, from dry abalone, which is, you know, very, very expensive. You know, you saw those prices, okay? And you know, that they love this, you know, kind of hard texture and soft in the inside.
That's nice. I'm down with
okay?
that. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, the cucumber is going to be horrifying for me. Oh man, really? I would say of all the textures, my least favorite would be slimy. Oh. It's like hard jello.
Well, you can describe that. It is.
It seems like that, yeah? All right, I'm going to do the duck. The duck web. So I can just do this, right?
You know, what we do in Hong Kong
Oh, I
is,
got bone in there.
you know, we use, we take out the good old chopsticks, okay? And then we just, you know, dig into this like, wow.
Uh-oh, I missed.
Okay. And then you throw this in your mouth. And then,
Really?
yeah.
That's great.
That's how you
Flavor, really good. Texture,
Texture,
really
yeah.
good.
Again, that-
Love it. So this has been really interesting. I mean, it's not something that people get to see. We don't have dried seafood markets.
No,
And we're not looking at it, and we're definitely not cooking with it.
no, I think
Quite an experience for me.
I think this is very unique, especially in Hong Kong. Because
Yeah.
I think Hong Kong is one of the largest consumer of dry seafood.
You say
know,
this is
per
very
capita.
Hong Kong. This
This
is
is
very
very,
Hong
very Hong Kong. And as I mentioned earlier, we love to eat this, and we always have it for festivals and, of course, a wedding banquet.
We should get out of here before. I don't want people starting to show up. I want to go jump in one of those mahjong games over there.
To the bride and the groom, I
Is
guess.
it bright and green? This is Sam the Cooking Guy. Welcome back to Sam the Cooking Guy in Hong Kong. We're in Aberdeen Harbor on a sampan looking for Mr. Lam, the noodle guy. He's a guy that serves noodles from his little sampan. He cooks them right there, he bowls them up, he's amazing, and we've all seen the food trucks, right? He's kind of like a food truck guy, except it's not a truck, it's a sampan. It's not in the United States, it's in Hong Kong, and it's not on land, it's in the water, so it's nothing like the food truck, but you get the idea, right? Aberdeen is on the south shore of Hong Kong Island, and along with being most famous for the Jumbo floating seafood restaurant, and they really mean jumbo, it's huge, it's also home to many sampans. Or is it just sampan? Whatever it is, a sampan is a relatively small Chinese wooden boat that can be used for living, but is usually used for fishing or transportation. In our case, this sampan was used for food delivery, and Mr. Lam, a very busy guy to track down. But we eventually found him and jumped on board. Okay, so we're starting with rice. We're just on a boat, right? We're on a little sampan. And now, pork, barbecue pork. Just look at the skills, man. Mr. Lam would normally serve other sampan people and even dock workers. He just pulls up and starts selling. So, right, you start with this. You know, the funny thing is, I'm almost getting seasick. I'm a huge barbecue pork fan. Another sampan going by, standing right here. Usually he's on the phone. Yeah, I'm down here with some guy from America making rice. It's early in the morning, he's eating it. We're good? But he specializes in noodles. Goose, we're putting goose on the noodles. Now some sauce, a little bit of sauce, another goose, some green onion, something, and now the broth. Okay. I don't know what the name of the sampan is, but I would go with either the sampan man or the noodle guy. I think he should be the noodle guy, because this is what he does. I got. The noodle guy. I like that. I'm going to suggest that. Okay. We've taken up enough of Mr. Lam's time. So I'm going to say thank you to him. And I'm going to say don't go away, because when we come back, there's more from Hong Kong. I'm pretty certain it's going to involve food, because that's what we seem to be doing here. See you in a second. Thank you. Thank you. This is Sam the Cooking Guy. Welcome back to Sam the Cooking Guy, 7 days in Hong Kong. Look, there's all kinds of reasons to come to Hong Kong. Turns out, while we were here, something very special going on. Can you guess what it is? Can you guess what it is? The Hong Kong Wine and Dine. It's gonna be cool, come on. The Hong Kong Wine and Dine Festival brought in more than 100,000 people and wine from 16 countries with over 400 labels. This is only the event's second year, and it's already considered one of the world's top food and wine festivals. In fact, some are calling Hong Kong the wine capital of Asia. James Teen, chairman of the Hong Kong Tourist Board, shared one of the reasons for the growing popularity of the wine scene in Hong Kong.
Our government's decision to take away the wine duty in Hong Kong 2 years ago makes a heck of a difference. You all know we don't have sales tax, we don't have value-added tax, and since we took the import duty tax away, then Hong Kong wine, if we drink them in Hong Kong, the value, forget about the restaurant's markup, is probably the cheapest in the world.
Okay, let's get to the actual food and wine part. And first up, my homeboys from Canada, and a treat from home. Maple vodka. It's really nice. Next is France.
So you will find the aromas typical from the Shiraz. So black currant a bit. It's quite long in mouth.
So I could only make out a few of his words, but the wine was good. It's beautiful. And is it really that obvious? I have no idea what I'm doing, but I can certainly eat. And of course, any festival needs food, and this one was no different. You could even try winning dishes from the recent Hong Kong Best of the Best restaurant competition. Fried puns. In the best of the best category, these guys, Oh God. Wow, it's very good.
And I'll start here at 50, 60, 70,000 here.
But the real proof that Hong Kong was becoming a powerhouse wine center was that Sotheby's, perhaps the top auction house in the world, made history with the most valuable wine collection ever at one of their auctions. More than $8 million US auctioned off over a 2-day period.
Sold at 90,000.
That's $90,000 Hong Kong, but still, a lot of money and wine exchanged hands over the 2 days, including 3 bottles of an 1869 Chateau Lafite Rothschild that went for $232,000 US each. That's almost $60,000 a glass. I mean, do you drink it or do you save it? I say you drink one and save the other 2. But all things must come to an end, and our time in Hong Kong was nearly over. This was my second visit, and I really find it a magical place. Of course, I'll always remember the food. The oh-so-comforting wonton and noodles, the fresh barbecue pork from the street vendor, and even the way-too-hot takoyaki. But the real thing about Hong Kong memories for me are the streets, with all the action, all the people, and all that amazing color. There's color everywhere, and the color of Hong Kong in my memories is as bright as it is there. In fact, it's like always being in the middle of a Kodak commercial. One big, beautiful commercial.
節目完畢，快啲嚟香港玩，快啲快啲！我哋廣東話冇，下一次再見，祝你好玩。節目完畢，快啲嚟香港玩，我哋廣東話冇，下一次再見。
Not bad. 80%.
Not bad for a low fun. Low fun from California, originally from Canada. I'm Sam the Cooking Guy, and you might know me from my TV show. I hope. Anyway, now we have the Sam Livecast. It's live, uncensored, and uncut. Well, plus you, as the audience, can participate. And if you miss it, you can always download the podcast. And while there's always food, it's not always about food. That's how we do things here. We all got it. Got just all this anger. But it is always about having a great time. The Sam Livecast.